The big murky variation in the Dutch defence is the Leningrad Dutch, which starts with G6, knight F3. Again, you can put it on H3 if you want, but castles, castles. And black is hoping for some sort of supercharged King's Indian. In King's Indian positions, you Fianchetto the King Bishop, and it's, at some point, if you want to attack on the King side, which you often do, you have to play with a pawn on F7. You play knight H5, pawn from F7 to F5, and then sometimes the knight goes back to F6. So that, you know, White's going to take Black's going to take 3 moves to play what can be played in 2. Now the Leningrad Dutch hopes to, by playing a very early F5, hopes to have made that possible without playing these other the other move order. Perfectly reasonable plan, although Black is committing themselves rather early, and you can see it coming, and the main lines go C4, D6, knights C3, and there's an awful lot of theory from here. Queen E8 is a line, C6 is a very popular line, rather slow and subtle, and also there's a hairy line with knight C6, immediately challenging White in the centre, and there's even these days an amusing line with E6, some sort of strange cross between the classical and the Leningrad. So let's not get too deep into the weeds just yet. So on move 6, I'm going to suggest let's not move the C pawn just yet. Let's go for our plan with B3 and see what happens there. D6, bishop B2, and well, what's Black going to do? It's the idea with knight to C6 is not going to work here. Because of D5 and now going to E5 is going to lose a pawn, so let's rule out that one. Black can play for an immediate E5, but as usual we're well placed to meet this quite strongly. So Queen E8, C4, a little bit of development, knight A6, knight BD2, and now E5. Doesn't quite lose a pawn, D takes E5. Knight G4, but I mean, having got this far, how about bishop to A3? That seems to be nicely awkward, and after knight takes E5, knight takes E5, and perhaps queen takes E5, rook to B1, and Black's played all the moves that they want to play, I guess, but doesn't have the position that they like. White's bishops look really rather good. White still dominates the centre. Black's bishops, well, one of them's blocked and the other one's king or nothing. This long dark diagonal has been emptied, and it's a bit sort of whistling in the wind there. Queen A5 is a way to upset that bishop. And but after bishop to B2, then the A pawn is poisoned. Queen takes A2, and rook A1 is going to pick up the queen. So let's not do that for Black. Bishop B2, and after bishop takes B2, we obviously recapture with the rook. And this again, the position is just better for Black. Black's position isn't really pointing anywhere. It doesn't make an awful lot of sense. White has plans on both sides of the board, I think. So that's the immediate Queen E8 and going for E5, and I don't think that's great for Black. So let's play much more slowly in the modern style with C6, C4, so this is a position that can arise from the C4 move order. Knight BD2 actually is an alternative there. But now Knight A6 makes a lot of sense. We can go instead Queen E8. Knight BD2 is natural, H6, just announcing that you've got to advance on the king side, well, big deal. And G5, and now just, I say, blow up the centre with E4 as your usual plan. You're threatening e5 and lots of other ideas as well. Black's really not well placed to meet this break. Black's played lots of sort of non-developing pawn moves with the idea of attacking on the king's side, but you just can't attack because you want to. There has to be some solid grounding for it, and Black's just not mobilised well enough on the king's side to say that they're ready to attack. So instead of queen e8, knight a6, and after this move, knight bd2 again. Again, we can get back into the queen e8 line, h6, rook e8, g5, and again e4, and this is just better for white. Again, by Drab against Manessian in 99. If f4, e5, and white's close to winning. Instead of that, idea queen e8. I guess you can play e5 straight away for black, but almost everything here is better for white. We've got, well, takes, knight g4, that's a clever idea, so you're not losing a pawn, but knight c2, knight takes, and now rook a d1, and this is just, again, more comfortable for white. The black pawns are loose, they're not on squares that help their pieces very much. Instead of rook a d1, I've got a game here with bishop to c3, which I think is just better for white, stopping that irritating knight coming into b4. But rook a d1, queen e7, and a3, another third way of stopping the rook coming into, not the knight coming into b4. Game between Kozyharov against Filev from 2015, and there's another, instead of a3, bishop to a3. There's a game between Ikonikov and Shabolsky in 2001, and white's better in all of these positions. So actually, I don't get too stuck to any particular move order. I think you can play this line with these ideas, and quite a lot of things turn out to be okay for white. Black's setup is just not that satisfactory. You'll find people who play Leningrad tell you different. But I've looked at quite a bit of theory on this and quite a few games, and it's rather put me off playing against Black, to be honest. Fan of the Dutch defence that I am. Anyway, that's enough of that.